Great news on DeMar. Man, that's awesome. That's unbelievable, But I think that just, man, the power of prayer, I believe it. And that's just great news, It's great news. Start off there. Everything else for us is, here we are, last day, really, of work, red zone work for us to get ready for the opponent. And these first 2 days have been good. Injuries are good. Deshaun's had 2 good days of work. Frank will practice today. So, it's good.
With the Hamlin news, obviously your team wasn't directly involved, but the Brotherhood, the NFL.
Yeah.
Does it feel like just the positive news there lifts kind of a cloud over the week, just the way things are trending with them?
I feel like, I do feel that way. And I know for me, just me personally, to see that it feels like, it's kind of a sigh of relief. I do think there's a little bit of a black cloud lifted or a load off. That's just great news, because, it's all you think about is him and his family. And so it's just great. It really is.
You were pretty fired up at the beginning of the week. You seem pretty fired up now. Is it, increased, leveled off? What do you think?
I'm excited. Our guys are excited. We just, just these opportunities don't always come around, and it's I think you go through these things in life, and you don't always know what they're going to be, but one day you're going to look back and say, man, you had these special moments that you were able to be a part of, and I try to tell those guys, you just don't know when those are going to come up or what it's going to mean, but I know this: when you're done playing, you miss the hell out of it, and this will be one of those moments I believe they'll always remember. This group, this team.
What do you feel like is the turning point? You talked about those moments, but what can you pinpoint a turning point from the season? I know you talked to a bunch of different guys and then said a bunch of different things, but for you, what got you guys to this level? What point can you pinpoint?
Yeah, I don't know. Like true turning point, I don't know. I think there again, it was certainly we got in the win column after losing 5 in a row against this opponent. At home, 10 weeks ago. And I just think it was a combination of things. But I think at some point we knew we were one play away. And it's hard to say that when you lose 5 weeks in a row. You're one play away, but you're not making the play. But yet it wasn't like we were playing disastrous football. We're not even competing. We're not, So I just think they really did know we are close, and we do a couple of things a little bit different, and everybody, let's get the sensitivity out of it. Let's all thicken our skins here, and let's lay it out all on the table, and let's just correct the issues and not worry about whether I did something wrong or how I'm going to be viewed. And I think that goes a long way, and that really comes from the team. That comes from our guys in the locker room. It's a little bit like AG said, enough is enough. So, and that started it. You get one, and then you're able to get another one, which is the first one on the road, Chicago, and then you get another one, and pretty soon you begin to learn how to win, and that's what we've done.
Elliot, having a couple good days of practice in your opening comments, you've gone through maybe your 2 toughest days of practice. So, what's your confidence level to be able to take the field on Sunday?
I'm pretty confident. I'm confident enough to where he would have to have a setback today, a major setback on day 3 for that not to happen. That's how I feel right now.
The run game earlier this week, and AG talked about a little bit yesterday, just how important it is to stop that. I was curious about Bugs and his role defending the run this year. He's obviously been a revelation. Those played really well.
Mm-hmm.
How important is he today?
He's extremely important, and I kind of feel like every week you talk about the run game, it always starts inside. Everything for us starts inside and works its way out, because if those guys don't do their job, then all the strain starts to go out on the guys who that's not necessarily what they're able to do a full game of. Whereas, man, Bugs and Mac, I feel like those 2 guys are linked. They're always going to be linked, and it all starts with them. They got to bang away in there. They got to hold the point. They got to be violent. But to your point, Bugs needs to have a big game. He needs to have a big game. Like, to me, he needs to have one of the biggest games he's had all season. He needs to have a better game than he had last week. And because they are running it, and they got a 1-2 punch with these backs. We know Jones is dynamic, but Dillon will just bang away in there now. And, you know, they'll hit them 4 or 5 a pop, and pretty soon they start getting them out of there, and they'll lean on you up front. And they're going to want to do that. They're going to want to do that this game. You know, it'll help Rodgers, and it helps her play action pass. So Bugs is huge. So's Mac.
We thought DeAndre Swift was turning a corner. Was that Jacksonville game?
Mm-hmm.
Came out of it. He was back on the injury report the next week, and kind of saw that role reduced. Looked like he was back again this week. Wasn't on the injury report this week. Has he, I mean, at the right time, turned a corner physically for you guys down the stretch here?
Well, I'd like to feel that way. But you know, it's the best he's looked, and you could tell he felt well. He felt good. Was moving well, and then really these last 2 days of practice, I feel like have been 2 of his better days all year. So that would lead me to believe that he is trending the right way. You know, he looks like he feels good. He's got a smile on his face. He's out there working, and so yeah, I feel pretty good about where he's at. I think we all do right now.
He is close to full strength, or at full strength. Can you just explain how different that makes the offense to have that dual threat out of the backfield?
Well, it's look, I think the 3rd and 10 we had the other day kind of speaks volumes. You know, it's when you get in a situation like that where maybe you don't always want to throw it or put yourself in a bad position, but yet you still want the ability, maybe something can happen with a handoff. Well, with him like that, anything is possible. It's a little bit, last year we go to Seattle right before halftime and we just hand him the ball and screen. He gets whatever that is, 30-something yards, and gets us in field goal range almost. And so he's got that type of firepower with him being healthy. And when he's that way, it's not always about scheming up the perfect play for Swift. It's about just get him started. As long as we can get him clean to the line of scrimmage and you know he can have one-on-one in space, like you'll take him all day. And so that's whereas it's not always that way. A lot of times you feel like you got to scheme everything perfectly, you know, but when a guy like him is feeling the way he's feeling, it's just get him started and he'll do the rest for you.
Field conditions. Obviously, last week Vikings had some problems there. Has there been kind of a focus on cleats or whatever this week?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes. So yeah, that's been a big deal. I started the week with that. Put up there a bunch of clips of players slipping at Lambeau, and that's one of our keys to victory is wearing the proper shoes. And our guys know it. They're on it. They've worn them the last 2 days. What they're going to wear out there, they've worn it on our field. You know, so it's been good, and we've gotten pretty good work out there. The field's been a little moist here. You know, it'll be moist again today from some of the drizzle we've gotten. So it's really, we're getting perfect conditions. You know, the only thing is it's not quite as cold as it'll be there, but it's not like it's not cold here. So, but yeah, shoes are big. Shoes are big. Slipping is not an excuse this week.
Reluctant to wear those 7-7 or
Say it again.
Why are guys reluctant to wear those?
Well, they hurt. I mean, it hurts your feet. You know, it's like putting rocks in your shoes and then going out there and running around. You know, they just hurt. But that's a small price to pay to keep your feet and not let your teammate down. You know, they just don't feel as good as the other ones. That's the bottom line.
The other question I had, there was a report out there that Ford Field's changing their turf this week or next month or sometime later this month. Just what's the difference in the turf and how much of a decision, how much were you involved in that decision?
Well, I did a bunch of research. I've tested a number of different, just joking. I haven't tested anything. So, Jeremy, I'm just, no, Rod is, we've talked about it. This has been in the making for a while. And Rod's been talking about this before anything came up about the grass and, you know, this and that. And so but we know that, you know, look, we're committed. Sheila and Rod are committed to finding. We're going, whatever it is. We know we can't have grass. We're a dome team, so let's find the very best, the best rated turf that we can get, and you know, so that's been a priority. So I've known that's been going on. I think that's a big deal. I think it's another reason why, you know, look, man, this is a good place to be. You know, when you have ownership that's willing to do anything, and it kind of starts with the players. I think they think that way. I think that's big.
I don't even know if this is possible. Some players kind of joked about it, but you try to stay in a bubble at all before that, you know, during the 4 o'clock game Sunday, and not pay attention to what happens in Seattle, LA.
No, I mean, I'll probably watch. More just to see the score. I don't want to get invested in it emotionally. I just want to see the score periodically. That's me. And I know our guys will be looking at the score, but you know, I think it's just keep it at arm's length is what I would say. That's the best way to approach it.
Thank you, Dan.
Yep.